Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Beebs, BB, whatever you want to call me, and today we're here with a new video for you guys. Oh my god. I've recorded this a couple times, so I'm kind of just ready to zoom through it and get it done. It does sound a little scripted, and I wanted to let you guys know about that for this first part because I did a lot of, searching on the internet, did a lot of research, and I've got a couple things that I really want to say, so I might just be straight reading off of my computer. So I hope you guys can be patient with me. Also, I think I've kind of noticed that, I speak weird. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just get straight into the sauce. For those of you guys who don't know, Idol is currently on the TV show Queendom. And basically, it's kind of a TV show where girls have to compete against each other to decide who's, the biggest concept queen. That's how I like to look at the show anyway, because basically in the show, girls cover various songs and make it their own. The reason why that's relevant is because Soyeon was basically recorded using the term ethnic hip, and I'm gonna just run the whole clip for you guys so we can talk about it.
나는 개인적으로 그 에에에에에를 우기 목소리로 진짜 아프리카 약간 추장이 막 에에에에에에 이렇게 하는
여기 쓸 수 있겠네 그 창법.
그 신스 있잖아. 뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱 이거를 약간 아프리카의 좀 뭔가 그런 악기들로 바꾸는 거야. 뭔가 똥똥똥똥똥똥똥똥똥똥 이러면은 이제 우리 스타일을 좀 살리는 거지. 우리가 기계음을 거의 안 쓰잖아. 그걸 좀 살리고 약간 에스닉 힙.
So, like I said, basically the TV show, they have to cover, other group songs. And in this episode, Idol has to cover a song by 2NE1 because their opponent is Park Bom. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, who are newbie K-pop stans and they don't really know 2NE1 like that, 2NE1 is known for having a lot of EDM/electronic sounds in their music. And so basically Idol was trying to think of a way of making those sounds more quote unquote idol sounding, like how they typically make their songs. So in this clip we can see them talking about, how to do that and what they should use. And of course, Soyeon says the phrase ethnic hip. I've seen a lot of people take offense to this phrase in particular, and while I don't think it's the most offensive phrase, I'm going to go ahead and just explain why. For those of you guys who don't know, that's not what I wanted to say. We'll just edit that out. Okay, anyway. According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, the definition of ethnic is of or relating to large groups of people classed according to common racial, national, tribal, religious, linguistic, or cultural origin or cultural background. Specifically, we can see that Soyeon was talking about the phrase ethnic hip, and we can tell that she's referring to a particular dance style that a lot of African dances tend to have in common. Whether this was right of her to say or not, I don't really think that she's right or wrong. I personally do think that African dance, especially traditional African dance, is known for having lots of really innovative elements in their choreography and hip elements in their choreography. And I personally think that Soyeon as well acknowledges and recognizes that and tried to use the term ethnic in an appropriate way, which, technically she did use it appropriately based on definition. I just think she could have worded her sentence better. Ethnic isn't a slur, and I think a lot of people hop straight to racism when they hear the term ethnic because they know it has something to do with race. But ethnic is not a slur. It's not an offensive word. The only time it's typically offensive is when somebody says it in a condescending tone or in that really weird, creepy, semi-fetishizing way, oh my god, you're so ethnic. The fuck is that? I'm gonna get demonetized. What is that supposed to mean? As a black woman, I've heard that multiple times myself. And it's just weird. Like, if you say it, if you try to say it, just don't. Just keep your mouth shut. Keep your opinions to yourself. Anyway, I digress. I don't think that the ethnic hip part was the most offensive part of what she said. And that's what I was referring to earlier by it not really being offensive or the most offensive. I think the most offensive thing she said was the chief statement. And I think that is more offensive than anything else she said. But it's a very nuanced and very layered conversation. And the reason why I say that is because Korea's view on the continent of Africa is based on what the rest of the world broadcasts Africa as. A lot of people in Korea think that Africa as a continent is not as economically developed as the rest of the world. And a lot of that is because they believe that they're getting the information that Africa is not as developed from the best sources possible. As someone, one thing that I hear a lot actually is that, they have the fastest internet. Apparently, I can't talk today. Oh my gosh. An argument that I hear a lot is that they have the fastest internet in the world, that they can look it up. But as someone who's in Korea, the internet is not 100%. It's not the best. It might be fast to upload videos, but, I've had a lot of, internet issues, and I think that, I keep saying, oh my God. I just think that it's a misleading statement to be like, oh, it's the best internet in the world. Like, it's good internet, but it's got its problems. I'll put it like that. And the differences between American internet and Korean internet are interesting. I'll say that. And what do I mean about the if you believe you're getting your information? Well, I don't think that's the proper way to say that. But like I said, if you believe you're getting your information from the best sources possible, are you really going to go out your way to look it up? And basically what I'm saying is like the U.S. and South Korea have had a long relationship, and it's been a relationship since pre-Korean War, so since pre-50s. There's a lot of history in there, but to make a long story short, World War II, Soviet Union, U.S., U.K., and the future leader of the Taiwanese government decided they would all rule over Korea. The U.S. wanted to control the South, Soviets wanted to control the North, Korean War happened, U.S. helped them rebuild, South Korea holds a very high opinion of the U.S. So whatever we typically put out or whatever they hear from us, they are most likely to believe it. And I've heard from a lot of Koreans that the images they develop are based off of popular U.S. movies, news, television shows. And to be honest, many American movies have the trope of white generous savior aids the poor brown people. And it's infuriating and frustrating as a Black person, to see that trope over and over again, but it just happens. I can't control media. But they see those images and then they develop their opinions, their ideas, and their beliefs of that country, and the U.S. continues to reinforce them when, we have a president that calls these countries, quote unquote, what he called them. Anyway, yeah. Basically, this image of Africa as a continent being economically poor is not something that only Koreans believe, but it's people that, in America, people in America refer to Africa as if it's one whole country. People all around the world believe this stuff about Africa. Is it right? No. But we can't just sit there and be like, oh, she should know better, she's from Korea. We can't necessarily say that because they think that the information that they're receiving from our media only confirms their beliefs. Does that absolve Idol of all guilt? Of course not. I don't think it's something she should have said in the first place. But I don't really keep up with the show, so this is a very new type of thing, and I've never really approached a topic like this before, so I'm sorry for being choppy. But really the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I wanted to create a dialogue about it and understand different sides and different perspectives. I am Black, but I am not African, if that makes sense. Like, that's not my culture. I am from the States. So I would love to hear, an actual person who grew up in African culture. I would love to hear their opinion on it and how they perceive it. And I think that's it for what I have to say about idols. So let's just move on to the next topic. So after the last part, I'm going to hopefully try not to sound as robotic because there's not research that has to go into this. And I've talked a lot about SuperM, and I already have my opinion. So let's just get straight into the sauce, I guess. I'm just really tired of hearing people talk about SuperM and bashing them, I guess, because the only thing I think that's worthy of being dragged is like their name, and that's it. It's too close to Suju for American marketing. It's too tacky. EXO as a name sounds way cooler than SuperM. When I think of SuperM, I think of pull-ups and baby shit. But oh crap, I'm gonna get demonetized. Anyway, let's just get into the sauce. The first reason that I usually see people hating on a SuperM is because they want an EXO comeback. And I love EXO. I really, really love EXO. They were the first group that I got into. They're my babies. They always have that big place in my heart. But honestly, the concept of, hating SuperM because EXO hasn't had a comeback, I think is one, really stupid. And two, I think it's kind of nonsense, because I don't really think that EXO wanted to have a comeback. And the reason why I say this is because, one, they're a 9-membered group, and they've constantly had to promote as OT8 because of THAAD, which is the agreement with China. And I just don't see why on earth they would want to promote with just 6 members. I mean, even the tour, it just looked awkward, and I'm sure that they had fun and they enjoyed themselves, but EXO isn't EXO without all of EXO, And before you guys even start with the EXO-K and EXO-M stuff, they were still physically there with their members, and all of the members had a say in the image, in the concept, in the creation of this new song and this new choreography. And, with 2 members in the military, they aren't there to participate. It's not, I don't know. I just feel like it's not it. And 3, I honestly just think that this whole time was SM's designated time to showcase different sides of the members. And I think that's why we got EXO SC. I think that's why we got City Lights. And I think that's why we got Jongdae's album. I think that this was all a part of SM's plan to finally give the members what they wanted individually, which was, a chance to really release their own music and participate in their own programs. But I think now, EXO-Ls have, kicked up this dust and made such a ruckus that now we are going to get a comeback. It's going to be a winter comeback. Baekhyun has already confirmed it. But I feel like it's not really going to sound like EXO because they're missing 2 vocalists, which are Xiumin and Kyungsoo, and they add just so much depth to the track that I think that, not having them is just going to sound weird. It's kind of like when we didn't have Leia at first. It all kind of just sounded weird. But like I said, for those of y'all who are hating on SuperM just for the fact that EXO's not going to have a comeback, y'all can stop now. Baekhyun confirmed last week that they're recording their songs right now. So, I don't know. The second reason that I've seen people hate on SuperM is this concept of this is a money grab. Hi, hello, welcome sis, this is a business. Ooh, that rhymes. Anyway, SM is a business, and they're going to promote their idols however they see fit. But I think it's important to remember that Taebae Kai have enough buying power to reject this if they wanted to. Taemin literally has been promoting since he was 14. If he didn't want to do this, I think he would have said no, and they would have been fine with it. Same with Kai and Baekhyun. All 3 of them make bank. Never forget, They make enough money that Chanyeol was able to build his own Iron Man suit. Okay, they got money. All of them have money except for like NCT babies because they're broke and new, but it's fine. I think that they still wanted to work with their seniors. And the reason why I say that is just because of all the EXO NCT interactions we've had. You know, Mark and Johnny visiting Chanyeol and Sehun on the What a Life set. Baekhyun peeping in at their dance rehearsals. Them peeking in at EXO's dance rehearsals during Tempo era, which are all videos that are up there. I know the Tempo thing obviously was when Tempo was released. So if you guys go to like NCT Daily Life or whichever, the NCT's got so many YouTube channels. Go to NCT's YouTube channels, y'all can find it. I think that initially, you know, maybe like Taemin said, he was kind of like, oh, I don't know about this. But I think once they saw all the other members, they sat down and talked about it. I think that they were like, yeah, let's do this. I want to do this. And, you know, they had a good freaking time with each other. I really don't think that the members were, like, forced together in this sandwich and, you know, they hate it and they're not having a good time. I think that they are enjoying the process. They're already working on choreography, which means they already have the song done. And they probably are having a lot of fun. They probably shot the music video, let's be real. Like, I think that this is something that the members are enjoying, and I think for you guys to just take that away from them and summarize it up as like, oh, this is a money grab, this is a money grab, all they care about is money. I just think that they're trying a new way of promotion, they're trying a new way of doing things, and I think that all the members are enjoying themselves. That's just that. The next reason I hear people bashing SuperM is because they're worried about them being overworked. And so far, I know that they're not. In the future, I can't cover for SM and be like, they're not going to overwork them. I don't know SM. I don't got connections like that. I wish, but I don't. If I did, your girl would be releasing a whole album. So we're not even going to talk about that because they got producers. They got... Listen, I don't even need... Listen. Okay. But as of right now, like, EXO hasn't been on stage as a group since Love Shot. Kai is fine. Baekhyun dropped City Lights 2 months ago, but the promotions have been done for a good hot minute. He worked hard for his album, but he's not overworked. And NCT and Wavy haven't had a comeback since May, so they're good. And obviously Taemin is good. Then dispelling that and pushing that all aside, they're not really overworked. Like I said, I can't vouch for SM in the future. I won't vouch for SM in the future. We talk about what's right here, right now, because we love facts, okay? We love straight facts. Yes. Okay, no printer. The next reason I see people hating about SM is... What? Oh, I guess that is their initials. Anyway, people hate on SuperM is because of the concept of, like, what about the other members? And don't get me wrong. Okay, listen, the shadiest thing about SuperM is that they didn't throw in Johnny, because I know he would have loved to work with EXO, because if y'all don't know, Johnny was supposed to debut with EXO. Not to mention he's an English king, but, you know, we got Mark fulfilling that role. It's fine. I know that it's very difficult and really annoying because Taeyong and Mark get a lot of screen time and they get a lot of line distribution. Like, I love them as a whole, but I would love to hear different members' voices shine and different, you know, members just have really cool killing parts, because it's annoying when the line distribution is 25% Mark, 20% Doyoung, 20% Jaehyun, 6% Taeil, 3% Haechan, 1% everyone else except for Win. But, you know, Lucas included, all three of them are amazing, talented rappers, and this group is pretty much vocal heavy when it comes to Taebae Kaiten's vocals. I'm not surprised that they took the rappers out of NCT and put them there. I don't even think Johnny raps, so, like, even though I want Johnny up in there, it's not even really logical for Johnny to be, you know, in Wavy. And let's be honest, who doesn't want more Lucas content, and who doesn't want a Taemin and 10 dance routine? Like, whoever says they don't want those things, they're lying. And the last thing that I think, the last reason why people are hating on SuperM, and I might get some stuff for this, but I'm going to just say it, and I'm going to say it like it is, because it's the truth. there's a big SM hate bandwagon. And yes, there is. Ever since Jonghyun passed, people have been jumping on this SM hate bandwagon, and as somebody who cherished Jonghyun very deeply, and also as somebody who suffers from mental illness, Jonghyun was sick, he was stressed, and he was hurt. And it's kind of hard for me to talk about this because, like I said, I cherish Jonghyun very deeply. But when you're suffering from mental illness, sometimes it's hard to communicate your needs with others. Korea's resources for mental health are very, very little, and a lot of it has to do with the culture around it. If you want a more in-depth video, there's going to be a link down below to YouTuber Kennie J.D's video. She made a very good informational video about it at the same time of his passing. I might make one in the future, but if you want immediate, more information on it, I'm going to just go ahead and link you guys her video. But it's very difficult getting mental health help in Korea. I know people who've gotten Discord, calm down. Okay. I know people who have had to go under different names in order to get mental help, and it's just a very difficult thing to do in Korea. Did SM put too much on his plate? Yes, that could very well be true. But that doesn't mean that SM knew how stressed he was. Did they keep adding things? Yes. But again, like I said, that doesn't mean they knew that he was overwhelmed. Does that mean that SM didn't care? Just because SM did those things, does that mean that SM didn't care about him as an artist or as a person? No. All it means is that SM missed the signs. And while it really freaking sucks that they missed the signs, SM shouldn't be held accountable for a decision that Jonghyun decided to make. And it's really crappy to hold an entity and a person responsible for an ultimate decision that he sat down, he thought about, and he made. Yes, could SM have gotten him help? Of course. Yes, could the signs have been seen and something have been done? Of course. There were signs, his Instagram posts and all that. But, we can't just sit there and be like, oh, that person knew and they didn't do anything. We just can't sit there and be like, it's their fault that this happened. It's a decision that he decided to make. And I just think that that's something that really needs to be said to the K-pop community as somebody who has experienced those types of feelings and has done things. I think that it's very difficult for me to talk about, like I said, but it's just a very difficult situation, and SM shouldn't be held accountable for a decision that somebody else decided to make on their life. Anyway, I feel like the video is getting long enough as it is, and it's getting real dark, so I don't want to go down that route. But if you guys enjoyed this content, let me know. I'm planning on some future videos talking about BTS's return from vacation and what I want to see from them, a video about the boys' Eric, and some other things. But if there's anything specific that you want me to talk about or you want to see, or you just want to have a friendly debate in the comments, leave it down there and I will hit you guys up, I guess. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications. And if you want to contact me, my Twitter will be linked down below. Thanks for watching, and Stan Luna.